through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From Lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, welcome to your number one channel in the Spursverse. Welcome to the number one best channel in Ireland as well. Sorry, Dave, you have been taken over by the Wexford crew. And yes, and welcome to THFC Till We Die, your home at Tottenham, past, present, and the glorious past that we look by, because our future is non-existent at the moment. We seem to be a club that is broken. We are frank. We are broken. We are separated at so many levels, but look, more about that tonight. This is the player rating show where I'm going to go over the players that played yesterday and also have my thoughts on it as well. So let me know what you guys agree or disagree with my player ratings. And then tonight, then, of course, at 8, we do have the, just let me get my notes. Yeah, so I've done a lot of notes for this one. Yeah, join us tonight at 8 as we do talk about Tottenham Hotspur and the club that is broken. Also looking at why is it broken? Who's to blame? How can we put it back together? And also we do have the very latest transfer news for you, ins, outs, and everything. Look, I want to welcome a few people in beforehand, and then we will get on to it, guys. I hope you're doing well. If you can do me a favor before we start, if you can hit that like button and the subscription button as well, I would be extremely grateful. We're only one away from 2,400, and then that would be great to start the weekend on a massive, on a good way, because that means we're only 600 then away from 3K, and I would love to get there before the end of the 25-26 season. And then we don't want to stop there. We want to get to 5K, 6K, 10K is my goal. I would love to get to that. Let's welcome a few people in. Big up to Wayne Bonner. He says, good afternoon, folks. Hope you're all well. We're all well. A bit wet and windy here in Wexford, but I hope you're well, Wayne. And let me know what you thought of last night. Big up to Carl Simpson. Said, honestly, we could have won 10-0. I would still be wound up. I know how you feel. I do know how you feel. Big up to Ryan. Big up Dermo. And Ryan, how's the weather where you're both? Rain. It's only me. Rain's at work. And yeah, he's let the loony run the asylum. Well, so is Tequila and James, actually, to be fair. How's the weather? where you're both. How has it been snowing in the good? No, it hasn't. We've seen no snow over here at all, Ryan. Absolutely not a bit of it. Um, but let me know if it's been snowing where you are, and hope you are doing well. The only person that is Frank in at the moment, I think, because I think 99.9% of Spurs fans are Frank out. And big up to Carl, still only 5 points. It is crazy. It is really crazy that how tight the league is. Um, to be only 5 points away from fifth place. But on the flip side of that, I'm just going to double check now. I think we're only 6 or 7 points from the bottom three. But we're lucky that West Ham keep losing. I think that's saving our bacon, and also Burnley getting a draw last night as well saved our bacon as well. If Burnley would have won last night and Leeds would have got a result last night, then they really would be breathing down our necks. But they did get points, which is saves us a little bit. Well, look, we are sitting in 14th place on 27 points. Bournemouth on 26, Leeds on 22, Forest in 17th on 21, and the West Ham are on 14. I do believe the bottom three are the three that will go down. I think there's a gap now forming between West Ham and a gap between West Ham and Nottingham Forest. And I do feel that that gap is not. I don't think West Ham are going to close that gap. I do feel that is the three that will go down. So look, we're not going to go down, but we are being dragged into that. But if you beat Aston Villa on Saturday in the FA Cup, and then we get a good, we start to do well in the league, then we could be up to 9th or 10th. But I can't see us getting no higher than 10th this season. I really don't feel that that is what we can achieve. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you agree or disagree, yeah, still Franking. Oh, fair play to you, Ryan. Fair play to you. I mean, you're sticking to your guns, and nobody can actually do anything less, and you stick to your principles. So big up to you. And then Carl is saying, don't worry about that. No, we won't worry about the bottom three. We just keep looking up. The only way is up. So Yaz told me when I was a teenager. I didn't believe her then, and I still don't believe her now. Now, the latest on Thomas Frank, I will give you the latest on that. And I also will give you the latest on this young player, that this 19-year-old. And look, before we get into play ratings, I've got to get that off my chest. I am sick of us going for 19-year-olds. I want experienced players coming in this window to help us make the squad better to move forward. We're bringing in this 19-year-old who hasn't played a lot of first team football. And then how long is it going to take him to adjust, or take him to get used to the Premier League, or get used to the environment of being in that top club? It's going to take him a good 6-7 months. It's just pointless. Where am I going? Right. The latest on Thomas Frank there has been conversations at the board level, but not with Frank, and not an emergency meeting. So all this you saw in next last night, emergency meeting being held tonight at Tottenham, emergency meeting. That is not true. It's just some of them are mates just sitting in their mam's bunker somewhere, just bored and decided I'm going to write a load of nonsense on it. Basically, it's a load of BS, and so don't believe it. We will give you accurate information. When I get it, you will get it first. So there has been conversations at board level, but not with Frank. Not with Frank there. Not with Frank, and not an emergency meeting. So if you saw an emergency meeting being held last night or today, it has not happened. That is fake news. That is not true at all. Just a quick little bit on Souzes, the left back from Santos. Tottenham Hotspur have actively pushed on this deal in the last few days. A bid has gone in, and talks with Santos are ongoing. Player is open to a move, and see Spurs as a step up. Sticking point, it's a fee structure, not desire. Spurs see him as an immediate depth with an upside, especially with Udogi's situation likelihood. Now, this is a high one. This is a 65 to 70% chance of this happening. I'm never going to say this is 100% happening, because you can never give, transfers are never 100%, because you can get 99% there, and then the last 1% can, over how much the wages are, or how much the sell-on fee the club's going to get, especially with this player's young age at 19, or maybe the agent's fees, the agent can be asking for a certain amount of money, and the club are not prepared to give him that money. So, look, it's always 75. We will always say 65, 70%. So that is the latest on that. I think Spurs are still in advanced talks with West Ham over Paquetá. I can see that one happening. Look, my gut's telling me, I haven't heard anything on it, by the way, so I can't give you any more. But I think my gut tells me that one goes through, but I think that'll be a later in the window deal. And I think that one will probably get done before the West Ham game, I would say. I would say. Don't worry about it. I am blaming all of them. Right. Does that count? It says, I want men who we have to stop blaming every manager and stop blaming Enoch. If there's a problem, what will I say about Ange? Is that Enoch did not give right. Look, you any manager that's come in to manage this football club over the last 25 years has had the same problem. The problem is it's like buying a house, right? And not buying the furniture in it. Just sitting in an empty room. I mean, Pochettino said this about back in 2019. We have a beautiful house, but we don't have any furniture in it. And it's been the same argument ever since they took over. Do you know, and as much as I think Ange deserves a little bit of credit because he did win us a trophy more than Mourinho did, more than Conte did, more than Nuno did, more than Harry Redknapp did. Ramos was the last man to win this trophy. Ange come in, like him or hate him or love him, you know, a very divisive figure within the fan base. He won us the trophy. He won us the European trophy. Now, you could say the same with Frank. If you give Frank the place, he could well go on to win the FA Cup this year. I hope we do. Because about time we won that competition. We haven't won that FA Cup since I was a teenager. What was I in 91? No, I was younger than that. I wasn't. I tell you, I was 15. I was 14. I was 14 the last time we won the FA Cup, and I'm now 49 next month. You know, that is too long. And when we last won it, we were the club that won it the most times with 8 wins. Since then, it's gone up to Arsenal have won it, I think, 14 times. So look, we need an FA Cup win, but we need the players to do it. And this is where Enoch come in, and this is where I will talk about tonight about the way that Enoch made all these promises 25 years ago, and they made the same promises in the summer. Nothing's come out of it. Nothing. We see nothing at the moment. So there is a lot. There is a lot to talk about. There is a lot to look into, and there's a lot to digest as well. Big up to James, talk Spurs. Big up to you, James. Listen, we've got to get you one. If you're free tonight, bud, if you want to pop up, let me know. Text me a WhatsApp if you want to join us tonight and go on and have your say. Yeah, I'll send you the link. So let me know if you want to come on tonight, bud, if you are free. Right, let's get into the player ratings, guys. This is it. This is the ratings here. The team was called Vicario, Romero, Van der Ven, Jed Spence, Porro. We had the midfield 3 of Bentancur, Bergville, and Pagliuca. We had a front 3 of Tell, Simmons, and Colo Morani. Look, let's start with Vicario in goal. Vicario didn't really have a lot to do. So let me just get it up here. Right, Vicario. Not much to do, and he couldn't really do anything for all 3 goals, but I think his distribution was not great at all. I think his kicking out was horrendous. And also, I felt that he looked nervous as the game went on. He did look nervous as the game went on. But no chance for the first goal, no chance for the second goal, and no chance for the third goal. I think that not even the best keeper in the world is going to save that third goal from Simeone. Absolutely cracking shot. But Vicario. He came out again last night, apologized to the. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll get you one for the build-up show. Big up to you, James. Came out last night and, you know, again, apologized for the performance, apologized for the lot. And he seems to be doing that a lot. What I will say is, where is our captain? It's okay putting stuff up on X, but the captain should be coming out and doing the interviews, doing the players' interviews. He is the captain of the team. He should be coming out. I'm the captain. I'm going to go out and speak to the media. I'm going to speak to the fans. But no, he hides in the dressing room and just goes on his phone. I'm going to put something on X instead of actually coming out and manning up, being captain, and say, look, I apologise. But he sends his goalkeeper out. Every time we lose, Vicario's the one out there. So, I feel sorry for Vicario. I do. I don't think he's playing great this season, but I do feel sorry for him. I really do. Pedro Porro, I give him a 4. I thought Porro was poor last night. The only time I saw any fight of Porro was at the end of the game when he was arguing with the away fans. That's the only time I saw Porro give any sort of fight or determination. For the whole 90 plus minutes, he was absolutely crap. His passing was poor. He couldn't defend. Bad night for Porro. Put more effort into fighting with fans than on the pitch, and that says it all for Porro. Well, we'll slightly defend him. We are overusing him, and we have overused him for the last sort of 18 months. So, you know, we haven't got covered there fullback, so we're going to have to keep relying on these players. But he has to start putting performance in soon. He was at fault for the third goal. I think, remember it right, he was at fault for the second goal as well. And I just feel that his general play, his demeanour is, bad. And if we get an offer for him in the summer, I would sell him. I really would sell him. And I just don't like Porro. Ever since he came out, and me and Tequila talked about this quite a lot on the channel, that when he came out, he says, you're not a true Tottenham fan if you criticise the team. Well, I'm sorry, that's what being a football fan is. Football's about opinions. And again, when you're paying the highest ticket prices in Europe to go and watch a load of crap, you have the right to say, I'm sorry, this isn't good enough. And you've got away fans there paying good money to travel half the country to go and watch the team play. And they did play well last night, Spurs. I will give them that. They did play well. But he was one that didn't put a performance in and then has the goal to tell us, oh, you're not a true Tottenham fan if you criticise us. You can go off and sod off. If you want to do that, go back to Spain and play in Spain if that's the way you want to do it, because we want you to go out there. You're playing for us. You're putting that shirt on. We don't give you that shirt. We loan you that shirt. And you need to go out and put an effort in and go out and give 100%. And you do that after the game, not during the game. So for me, Porro does get a 4. For me, Jed Spence a 5. Jed Spence, I did say a few. Look, he tried last night, Jed Spence. I thought he's very effective down the ring with Simmons. And I thought the left side was better than the right side, if I'm being honest. I thought Jed Spence and Simmons, Xavi Simmons, did link up quite well, and that Spence did a few overlaps. He was a bit loose with his passing, I think, but I think overall he had a good game, and that's why I give him a 5. I'll give him a 5 because of he gave the ball away a few times, but overall, good performance. Tired as the game went on, because he's been overused as well, with your doggy being out. So we've only got 2 really fit fullbacks, and he is being overused. But again, did well last night, and Jed Spence, another good performance, but his link up with Simmons, I was really impressed with. Christian Romero, our captain, good game for him. A mixed bag for the skipper, was a big presence for set pieces, and he didn't have a great first half, but second half, I thought he improved. I thought he was a leader on that pitch last night in that second half. And of course, with corners and everything like that, he was the first to the ball. He really was. I think he laid on was it the first goal or the second goal? I can't remember now. I think it was the first goal or the second goal, I think, or the third goal. I can't remember. The second goal, I think. Can't remember it, but he done very well. Mickey van der Ven, I thought, was immense again last night. He really is having a good season, Mickey van der Ven. With his pace, got us out of trouble a few times with his pace, by the way. Mickey Van thought he won a pen, but was not given by VAR. That for me was a penalty. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen them given, and again VAR rule against Tottenham. Tottenham are the only team in the Premier League not to be given a penalty at all this season, and we're now into the 8th of January, so we're halfway through this season, and we're yet to win a penalty. Every other teams are getting penalty. It comes to Tottenham, we don't get the decisions with VAR. We don't get the right calls. The calls always go against us. and I've seen them given. So I do not know why um, it wasn't given. But I suppose if you look at, I suppose you're looking at slow motion, it makes it look like he was diving. Then if he dived, then why not book him? If he dived for the penalty, then you give him a yellow card for diving. But that wasn't even done. So I just feel it's VAR. We're rarely. It's feel like the Premier League's against us. But look, what can you do? You have to keep going on. We will get a penalty one day. Maybe not this season. For me, the midfield three, I thought it was a good pick by Thomas Frank putting Bergville in there. I like Bergville. I really do. Now, because we haven't got Kudos, he's out injured. I think to April he's back. We had to play somebody on the wing, so I think Simmons and Tell were right there on the wings. I would have put Odebear on there and play Simmons in the middle, but Bergville can play in that 10 role as well. But I'm going to start with Palunia, another solid performance, 7 for me. Got his goal, a brilliant overhead kick as well. Absolutely fantastic goal. Another solid performance by the Bayern Munich man on loan to us. Portuguese player, sorry, on loan to us from Bayern Munich. Again, went over at the end of the game, I think trying to calm things down. I think a few people have put he was there arguing with the fans. He wasn't. He was trying to calm the situation down. But a good, another solid performance. Got his tackles in, and as I said, his goal was absolutely fantastic. Overhead kick, so brilliant. But a 7 for me. Bentancur was poor again last night. One of the poor ones last night in that midfield. Didn't do much, and then came off injured. Not a great performance, and went off injured. We think I don't know how he is. I haven't looked at Thomas Frank's press conference from today, so I will give you the latest on that tomorrow. On the injury front, but he did go off, I think, with a hamstring, so we don't know. And also Bergville as well gets a 6 for me. Bergville for me, a few shots from distance, but went off with a groin muscle problem. Now, he had this problem before, and then they rested him for one game. They brought him on sub for the game at the weekend, and then they started him last night. If that's the case, I think he might be out for the season. I think if it's a groin problem and his groin's completely gone, then that's him out to the start next season. So we have to wait and see. But when he was on, he was lively and he was putting himself about. And I like Bergville. I think he's a real talent. At 19, he's going to be a great player. But he has grown up a lot over the last sort of 18 months at Spurs. But good player, Bergville. And you know what? He will improve. The front three for me, great to have Simmons back. He got a 6. For me, started the game well, got an assist with Tell's goal with that beautiful back heel, by the way. That was brilliant. Assist with Tell's goal, but as the game went on, he did start to tire as the second half went on. I think because he has missed the last 3 games with suspension, but it's great to have him back. And we looked a little bit more. We had a bit more punch up front, I think, in the attacking bit of the field. So he was starting, but he did start to tire as the game went on, but did play the full 90. So big up to Simmons as well. Matez Tell as well. Goal. Another good game for Tell. Again, another one to start the tire in the second half. But absolutely took his goal really well. And he was a menace down that left side. He ran that left side of Bournemouth's defence ragged for a good hour last night. I thought he was brilliant. And it shows what a good player he is. And maybe we are seeing the best of him. Maybe Tell is starting to prove a few people, look, if I get a run in this team, I am going to prove a few people wrong. Then we got Morani up front. Well, a blind man could have done better than him last night. I think Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder could have played better than him up front. He was absolutely woeful. I don't think I saw him for the first half. I saw him somebody running around like a headless chicken. He got a 3 from me. And Morani, what did I say? Had a bad game, and that was it. I just thought he was poor. Is it the system that's not suiting him? Yes, he wasn't getting the he's not been given the ammunition to go and get the goals, but I don't know if it's the system. We've tried playing him on the wing. He's not a winger, he's a striker. And then when we do play him up front, he just doesn't perform. So I don't know. When Richie came on, I think Richie made more of a presence up front when he came on. He hit the post and he was more putting himself around. I think when Morani plays, I think you've got to play a different kind of football to suit his needs, and I don't think we're doing that at the moment. Let's go and talk about the substitutes as well that came on. There was 3 subs. We had Odebear came on for Bergville in 57th minute. Bergville went off towards with his groin injury. I gave Odebear a 6. For me, Odebear was busy when he came on, and he really was busy. I thought he had a good come on. I thought he had a good game the previous game, and I think he's followed that up as well. So let's I think he played well. So he got a 6 from me. Richie came on as well, and I thought I'd never say this. We all slag Richie off, but I thought Richarlison changed the game up front. I thought he came on and he was a menace. He's putting himself around, hit the post with a header. That was from Romero when he put it back across the 6-yard area, and there was Richie to put the header onto the post, made himself a menace, and he was a problem for Bournemouth when he came on. So Richie gets the 6 from me. And then Archie Gray came on for Bentancur. I think he was come off with a hamstring, but I need to double check on that. Came on, wasn't on for long, so it was very hard to rate him. But again, Archie Gray coming on, big up to him. But that is the play rates, guys. So let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think. Look, overall, Thomas Frank as well. I did give him a rating, so let me get that up. Thomas Frank gets a 5 for me. Now, he gets a 5 for this because of the way we started the game. We did set out very sort of aggressive to press on Bournemouth. It was a very open game. It was like we attack, you attack, we attack, you attack. It was a very open game. And I think he got it right in a way. I think where he did get it wrong, again, his substitutions weren't done on the right time. I think on the 55th minute, I think we could have made a couple of changes there. I also think he has been he's been dealt a bad hand with injuries, to be fair. And I think for him to come in, it's the same thing as Ange last season. We're having a lot of injuries. That's down to the medical department at the club, so it's not really down to him. The thing with the cup as well, walking out with the Arsenal Cup with its espresso. Look, I know it looks bad. Okay, I know it looks bad, and I know it would look bad to every Tottenham fan out there that our Tottenham manager has a drinking cup with a Arsenal logo on it. But I blame the PR people around him. I blame the people around him. When you're a manager, you've got 110 things thinking about before the start of the game. You're thinking about, what are my team ready? Is that player ready? Is he in? Right, what's my final thoughts before we go out? There's 110 things you got to do. And I do feel that he probably just, somebody said, oh, there's the espresso for you. And I do feel somebody stitched them up. I do feel somebody within the club did stitch them up. And I do agree with you, Elspeth. I really do. I just feel that I'll give my comments on Thomas Frank on how I feel tonight, but very briefly, I just feel the club I just feel, and then somebody did leak that picture as well. So yeah, stitched up is probably the very good word. I just want to see if I've got any more breaking news for you. Right, okay. So Spurs have Paquetá on their radar as a great midfielder option this January window. West Ham, better check if I can use that. Just started it. I better just check. Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. I'd wait till I get confirmation if I can use that. I want to go through the chat as well, and then we will end it there. Where we're going. Porro is going to City or Real Madrid with a magic. Do you know what, Carl? He can go and play for Rangers for all I care. I think he's just an idiot. I really do. Anyone that tells me that I cannot criticize the team or tell me I'm not allowed an opinion, I'm not a true fan after 44 years of following this club, can go and do one. Seriously, they can. Wayne says, I'd be good with that, Carl. He's done his time at Spurs. Time to cash in and move on. Exactly. What else have we got here? We've got Carl says, for me, Morani gets so badly insulted for no reason. The ball bloke has had to trap back to midfield, just try to get the ball because no one can get it to him. Finish. I'm playing Xavi. Yeah, I get it. I do get it. Look, Morani, for me, he wants to play in a certain system. And once he plays in that system, that suits him, then he's firing. You saw that against Copenhagen. We saw how good he can be. And yes, it was against Copenhagen. And I know we're better than Copenhagen. Well, at the moment, we're not. I think Copenhagen are better than us. But that's beside the point. And other games he has played in the Premier League, he has played well when you're giving them the ammunition, you're giving them the space. I think was it Saturday's game? Against Sunday's game against Sunderland. Um, the way that he got down the middle and Richie didn't get the ball to him, you saw his frustration, and it is frustrated. So I get it, Carl. I think we can be a bit hard on these players sometimes, but I think last night he was poor, very, very poor. Big up to Elspur from Las Vegas, sprinkling a bit of Vegas on the channel. Big up to Elspur. Said when Mickey went on his run, do you think it because it was fed up? I think it was. It was like he started in his own area, and then when he gets over the halfway line, he speeds up. You go on, you can score. And for me, it was a penalty. I would have given it as a penalty. And VAR again, does us over. Big up to Wayne. He says Odegaard and Taylor are damn good players, so should be given more game time. They add to the attack rather than implode. Yeah, they do. They really do, and I totally agree with that. Thomas Frank gets 5, and the Arsenal Coffee Cup gets a 10 for inflating our team. Infiltrating our team. Yeah, so true. So true. So yeah, someone did stitch him up, I'd say so. Spurs fans wouldn't care if we were playing well, and we could laugh it off because, yeah, I agree. It's because where we are and how we're doing. I think any little thing is going to trigger it off, isn't it? I think if we were up third or second in the league, unbeaten in say 12 or 13 games, we would look at it and laugh it off and have a bit of fun with it. But because where we are and how badly we're playing, we've only had 7 wins out of our last 22 games. I mean, little things like that are going to bug you. Big up to Rodney. It says big up, COYS. Big up to you, Rodney. Hope you're doing well. All the players except Palunia all get 0 Palunia. That'd be a good player rating show, right, Ryan? Everyone gets a 0 plus Palunia. I say Palunia. Fair enough. Put your player ratings in, actually. I would love to see what you think about it. The scary thing is that this is the best we have played. It is, and that is scary. We have not played well at all. I feel it was time to give the kids a chance. It couldn't do any worse. Then, yeah, I agree. Time to give the under-21s a run out on Saturday. We're going to lose against Villa anyway, but might as well play the under-21s. See how well they do. And we'll put Kuva in charge of the team. He's the new under-21 manager. Big up to you, Kuva. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I thought it was a good game. So did I, actually. I really enjoyed it. If I was a neutral, that would be game. I would have enjoyed that game. It was a good product for the Premier League. We created plenty of chances to win, but we were poor in taking them. We deservedly disappoint, probably win. Yeah, I think so. And I think that's the bit that hurts Kuva, that we knew we deserved more than we got. And I think that's the frustrating part. If we took our chances and were able to capitalize on the chances we were creating, I think we should have won that easy. But as you know, Dr. Tottenham does pop his head up from time to time, and he popped his head up again last night. Philip Brady sent me a text, WhatsApp last night. Said, "I wonder how much they're charging a consultant fee. Probably a lot." Big up to Brenny. Big up to you. So it's afternoon, sir. I'm not a sir. I'll never take a knighthood, Brenny. I'm Irish. I would never. But if somebody offered me a knighthood, I'd give it to you. I wouldn't take it, or an OBE, or a CBE. No, I don't. I'm not in for them on the bits. No, I wouldn't take it. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't let it. Not my thing. But I'll give you the knighthood. Big up to Brenny. Big game for you tonight, bud. Big up game for you tonight. Big up. James says Odegaard needs to bulk up. Yes, he does. I agree with that. He does need to bulk up a bit. So that's something he can do between now and the start of next season. We said the same about what was his name? The player we had, the fifth Beatle. Oh, what's his name? He was on loan to Spanish clubs a few times. Maybe somebody in chat might let me know. We've got Carl. Spurs have just. No, it is not. It's not the Beatles. It's a player that looked like he had hair like the Beatles. So that's why we call it. I forget what his name is. What the fuck? He went on loan to Seville, I think. Oh, what's his name? Somebody in chat put in there for me. Yeah, Martin Ho for interim after Frank is sacked. His stats are undeniable. 70. Wow. I'll look into that, Elspeth. I will look into that. Okay, not a sir, but how about a scandal? What scandal are you talking about? What Hill? That was it. Brian Hill. Thanks, James. Brian Hill. Couldn't think of it. Brian Hill. That was his name. Scoundrel. Yeah. Okay, I'll take the scoundrel bit. I will. I'll take that. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a scoundrel sometimes. Big up to Elspeth said they will never appoint a women's team manager. Called scam. Do you know what? I don't know if anyone saw Simon Jordan this morning. It's a point I'm going to bring up tonight's show. About the players being cowards. And this is linked to player ratings, by the way. I think if you look at that starting 11 that started yesterday, I think Porro, Bentancur, I think they're cowards. Especially Porro. I think Porro is the biggest coward of them all. He will go over and give it his all against the fan, but he won't give it his all for the 90+ minutes for the team. But he'll go after the game and attack a fan for having an opinion. He's a coward. Romero, he's another coward. Won't come out and face the media as captain, as club captain. Come out and face the media. I have more respect of him if he come out and said what he said live on air. And he said what he said on an interview. He said what he said. I would have more respect for him for doing that. But no, he used Twitter, and then it was redacted this morning. The wherever he put up was, edited. I agree with him with what he said. I agree with him calling out the board. We'll do it then. Do it on the public forum. Come out and say it. You're club captain. We lost the game. We want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from Vicario. We don't want to hear you keep throwing all these other players out, or they can talk to the media. You're a club captain. You do it. Even if your English is that good, bring somebody that will interpret for you. And I do. That's being a coward. If you won't come out as club captain and speak to the media, then you're being a coward. But you put it on the next post. For me, Mickey van der Ven is more of a. I agree with you, James. Mickey van der Ven, I think, would be a better captain. I think when he was captain, when Romero was out injured, our defense looked more balanced and more calm. But yeah, I agree with that. Players are cowards. And they're being cowards now because they're hiding behind something within the club. And then they're not getting behind the manager. Not one of them has put out a post or come out and said, we back this manager, we're behind him 100%. None of them have said that. And no wonder Mickey van der Ven is not looking to extend his contract. Why would you blame him? Why would you blame him? Because he'd be looking around thinking, oh, a few other clubs are doing better for this. As I said, that's for tonight. But just on the coward part, Porro's an absolute coward. He won't put the performances in 90 minutes, but he will go over to the away fans and start shouting and try to be held back like he's going to jump in there. Where's the club saying to him, right, you can't do that. We're going to sanction you for doing that. But they won't. It's just the whole club is a coward. Full stop. Elspeth says there will be a huge turnover of players. There will be. Absolutely, there will be. Madison is one who should have been the captain if wasn't it. Let's talk about him coming back in April as well. Big up to Logan. Hope you're doing well, bud. He says Mickey won't be here much longer. Hell will be gone, and he'll be gone in the summer, I reckon. So. Demo, I meant the boards are cowards, but yeah, they are cowards. The whole club's cowards. The boards are cowards as well, Spur. And I'm going to say that tonight. I just think the whole thing needs burning down and starting again. It really does. I would 100% say Gallagher. We have nothing in the midfield with injuries. Right. I've got a little bit on Gallagher, but that is for tonight. I'm going to leave that for tonight, guys. There is a little bit on Gallagher. But what I do have is an update on Paquetá. Now, Spurs have Paquetá on their radar as a creative midfield option this January um, window. West Ham adamant, unless things change for the worse, this will be more of a summer move than a January move. West Ham digging their feet a little. Low for January, 10 to 25%. No official bid confirmed. West Ham haven't signaled a willingness for sell immediately. Medium for the summer, 40 to 55%. Spurs need the creative midfield. A postseason move could be more plausible if West Ham stay in trouble. I will leave you with that. We'll talk more about that tonight, guys. But that has been the Play Rating Show. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're back tonight at 8, so do join me and Rain as we talk about Tottenham. You know, a club that is broken, and we are broken, and we're going to try to find out how do we fix our football club, and we're going to go through it with a fine tooth comb. We're going to go through all of them. Nobody, no player, nobody's off topic tonight. We really are going to go through the club with a fine tooth comb. We've got all the latest transfer news as well as it comes, and if we get breaking news during the show, we'll bring it to you first and fastest. Also, any news, any if we do sign a player, as soon as I know, I'll be straight on. Even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I will go live with the news for you guys. But till then, see you at 8. Please hit the like button, hit the subscription if you can. So come on, you Spurs, in the club we trust. See you at 8.